After spending the last 5 years traveling on our 2 motorcycles, it's time that we add another vehicle to our travel lifestyle. Welcome to our 2018 Jeep Wrangler Overland build. We started this build with an extremely capable Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. It comes from the factories with locking front and rear differentials, Dana 44 axles, a dedicated low-speed transfer case, and a disconnect that you can control electronically for the sway bars. In many ways, this Rubicon is more capable than we'll ever need for overlanding, but it's a solid platform to start with. When we were searching for our Wrangler, we were specifically looking for the 3.6-liter Pentastar engine mated to this 6-speed manual transmission. This engine and transmission has been around since 2011 and has a long history for being pretty reliable. Our Jeep is affectionately called Balto, a name of the sled dog that helped bring the diphtheria antitoxins to the remote town of Nome, Alaska in 1925. We replaced the Rubicon badging with this customized one and added a sticker of Balto from the 1995 animated film. Let's talk about some of the modifications we've done to the exterior. Our Jeep already came with steel front and rear bumpers, so we felt there was really no reason to change them. They actually look great, and there's a lot of accessories for them. We added a 10,000-pound capacity-worn winch with synthetic line and a Factor 55 flat-link shackle. We also added this attractive triple hoop bar from Maximus 3, and we added some lighting from TYRI. On the A-pillars, we added another set of lights from TYRI and attached them using mounts from KC Lighting. Our Wrangler already came with LED lighting, but it did not come with a tow package. So we added the tow hitch and the trailer wiring harness. However, the most obvious changes to the exterior are the Ursa Minor pop-top camper and this awning from Top Oak. We're going to talk about those a little later though. The extra weight of the Ursa Minor camper and the awning, especially being so high on the vehicle, caused the vehicle to sway a lot with the stock springs. It also caused a lot of sagging on the back as well. We decided on the Dual Sport RT 2.5 suspension lift with high capacity springs from American Expedition Vehicles. The suspension did a great job of eliminating that sway that we had. It also improved drivability and handling on and off-road. As for the tires and wheels, we decided to stick with the Stop Rubicon wheels and the 33-inch all-terrain tires. We're currently getting a reasonable 16 miles to the gallon and didn't feel the need to reduce our mileage by adding a larger tire. To keep the mud and rock damage to a minimum, we've added mud flaps from Rock Blocks. On the roof, we have Yakima Skyline crossbars, where we have an attached Starlink Mini mount, and we have Max Trax recovery boards. So let's move on to the interior of the vehicle. Our Wrangler came with a cold weather package that included heated seats and steering wheel. It's definitely a nice addition on those cold mornings. Our Wrangler didn't come with factory aux switches, so we installed and wired these. Aux 1 is for the bumper lights, aux 2 is the A-pillar lights, aux 3 is the GMRS radio, and aux 4 is the air compressor, which is located under the driver's seat. So this is the ARB compressor, the single cylinder compressor with the underseat kit specifically made for this Jeep. It worked great, but it didn't include all the fittings. So just so you know that if you do buy that, it won't have all the fittings. But once we got everything situated and wired up, it works great. Back here with these gull wing windows, which are really convenient, is where we store the hoses that we need for pressurizing all our tires. You may have noticed too that our dash is not the standard Rubicon red. We ended up replacing it with this leather with red stitching. For communication, we added a Jeep branded Midland GMRS 2-way radio and a stubby antenna mount near the driver's side A-pillar. We also carry a portable Midland radio for when we're communicating outside the Jeep. We also replaced the door netting, which was already sagging when we purchased our used Wrangler. The door panels from official use only are a welcome upgrade. On the passenger side, we've added a C-cell LED flashlight and mounts by Maglite. The grab handles are from Mopar, and they seem well built and don't bang against the windows when we're off-roading. So now that we've covered the front of the Jeep, let's move on to the back. So as you can see, this Jeep is a 2-seater. So we actually deleted the seat. We added a bench from Air Down Gear Up that allows us to sleep inside if we need to. Primarily we'll sleep upstairs, but if we're doing urban camping, this is nice area to sleep. It also gives us plenty of room so we can add things like our 2 fold-up bicycles, yoga mats, and things like that. Behind the driver's seat is a custom-made trash can that was 3D printed and includes a very useful lid. We designed the bags just big enough to hold the plastic trash bags that you get at a grocery store. We've also added blackout curtains on the sides. They're attached via this paracord that's just tied to the roll bar. We've got them on the sides, and we've also got them here in the front. So let's move on to the outdoor kitchen area. So our air down, gear up, you can see the platform goes all the way to the back of the vehicle, and then it also includes 2 sections, a fridge on this side and storage on this side. On the passenger side, we have a Dometic 30-liter fridge, which keeps all of our stuff nice and cool. Easy to get to. It works beautifully. It doesn't draw a whole lot of power. On the driver's side, we have a pull-out shelving system, and it's got all of our stuff from our utensils, our olive oil, cleaning supplies, our fuel that we use for our camp stove, and other things like that. This air down, gear up shelving also has the option of a slide out tray or drawer that you can use to put stuff on. It's really convenient, so you don't have to put it on the ground. Makes it really easy. Also gives you extra room for chopping up vegetables or whatever you need. Shelf space is key when you have a kitchen. And then underneath that is our 100 amp hour lithium batteries with a DC to DC charger, and also a Bluetooth adapter that lets us know what the temperature and the voltage of our system is. We've also got a freshwater system. All the stuff is by Dometic, including the tanks and the faucet. The faucet we store right here. It's as simple as pulling it out, coming over here to this magnetic mount, setting it on there, and connected the Tygon tubing with this quick disconnect, and then 2 presses a button. Voila, you got water. So on the tailgate of the Jeep, it's a perfect place to mount our front runner drop down table. This is a great table. Great place to mount our Prima stove. And it also has this nice fold out section here where you can add other things for chopping up more vegetables, more space, more shelving, but we primarily use it for holding our sink area. The air down gear up system also has a perfect place to mount a fire extinguisher. And the last thing we'll discuss here is our Vector shelving. This is a solid shelf. Love it. Gives us extra room to store things like, this is where our camp stove goes. This is the drone and all electronics and camera equipment. And then we also have the before mentioned Dometic water storage. This is about 6 gallons of water that we can have up here. So let's move on to the most obvious thing about our Jeep Wrangler Overland build is the Ursa Minor camper and the awning. Let's deploy the camper. Simple as popping these 2 hatches at the front. There's one on the driver's and passenger side, both sides. Pulling out one of the hatches in the middle. So there's 2 hatches, both on the left and right side. We typically pull this one right behind the driver. That allows the air to come in when you open the tent. And then we'll deploy the tent. It's as easy as pulling on this little cable down here and then pushing up on the tent. There it is. So there's gas struts on both sides that make deploying this tent really, really easy. So when you order the Ursa Minor directly from the factory, it'll come with a bunch of different options. We end up choosing the gull wing doors from XPO Gear. They're just got 2 latches that you can lock. It allows you to get access into here. They've got 3 other options, including no window or the sliding window. Depending on what you want, you can check out their website at Ursa Minor. We also opted for the switches up front that allow you to control the camper power and aux power. That includes both a USB, a couple USB, and the standard 12 volt adapter. So now let's climb up on inside and see how it looks. So you enter everything in here from the back, either the behind the passenger or the driver's side, and then you climb up through this hatch. And as you can see, we end up keeping all of our bedding in here most of the time. We've got our comforter and our 2 pillows here. On this side, we've got, you can open these up directly on both sides. You can see beautiful views outside. They also have a mosquito net if you want that as well. Plenty of ventilation on both sides. So the netting is accessible here on this corner. And then you can open that and then enjoy the breeze or the ventilation without the mosquitoes eating your face. Inside the camper is plenty of lighting. There's these two lights here that are both like kind of reading lights for both sides. Really convenient. And they sit on these nice little snake arms. And then there's also another light right here. Nice dome light. Plenty of lighting in here. There's also this little drop down rod that helps support the roof, but we found out the struts are strong enough. We typically don't use it unless it's really, really windy. Some other options that we chose were these storage pouches. They got two zippers on, and they're both on each side. Great for storing electronics and things like earplugs and such. If you get the power supplies, you can also see that they include power up here as well. They've got a standard 12-volt plug, and then we've added a switch right here for our Starlink. And then over on this other side, we've actually got another switch that uses two USB powered devices. The other option we chose was a 3-inch mattress since we live out of our Jeep full time. The extra comfort compared to the 2-inch mattress is definitely worth it. We have a good night's sleep every night. So once you're in your tent, it's as simple as moving this hatch over. It falls in place, and then moving this other little pad over. Now you've got basically almost a full-size bed. It's definitely longer than a full-size bed, but it's about a width of about 50 inches, so more than enough comfort in here, especially for me at 5'10". Now finally, the awning, 270-degree awning from Top Oak. It's pretty easy to deploy. Just a zipper. 3 straps. 1, 2, 3. It's got a front section and a back section. The front section extends all the way to the front. The front ends up mounting right here onto this KC lighting A-pillar light. And then the back connects up here onto our Ursa Minor camper. So we've measured all the lengths out and fits perfectly every time. Technically, you can see it's freestanding, but there's no breeze right now. If it does get a little breezy, it's got these poles that you can extend and adjust to whatever level you need. They have nice little clips on them. But if it does get real windy, you want to strap this thing down. Thankfully, Top Oak includes everything with the awning. So they give you this bag, and they even actually include a little hammer to help you hammer all the guidelines down. Inside the bag, you'll see the cables used for all the LED lighting. Some nice ropes to tie everything down. And these really, really strong and sturdy tent stakes. So all in all, some quality stuff in here. We're really happy with the Top Oak awning. So we're currently in our 5th month of living out of this Jeep Wrangler Ursa Minor camper, and it's been pretty awesome. This last summer, we went all the way to Alaska and the Northwest Territories of Canada. We crossed the Arctic Circle twice at Prudhoe Bay and at Tuktoyak, and it's been pretty awesome. Yeah. So we love how nimble and maneuverability the Jeep is, and the Ursa Minor camper keeps all of that maneuverability, but gives you a nice clean area at the top where you can enjoy a good night's sleep. Overall, it's been a solid camper that we're really proud of. Feel free to shoot us any questions. Because we're a small channel, we do our absolute best to answer every question or comment, so we appreciate that. And while you're at it, give us a like, subscribe, so we can continue to make Overland related content for you in the future. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.